Hello everybody, how are you? We're in a traffic jam outside of Charlotte. A little accident up there that's according to my Google Maps. So I thought we'd take the opportunity because I keep getting these questions about Charlotte. People love Charlotte, they want to know more about it. And unless you're from the area, you may not know all of the things that are available. So this video is 5 things you can only do in Charlotte. So every community has unique things that you can do, fun things for families or dates or interesting places to go. And you don't always know what those are. So here are 5 of them. Now in Charlotte, number 1 is glass bottom kayaking. If you're into the outdoors, if you like canoeing, fishing, kayaking, perhaps sailing, if that's within your realm, try the glass bottom kayaking available in the Charlotte area. It gives you a different perspective, especially if you're going through the rapids, you're going through the rocks. Now, it's a special kind of glass that is made to bounce off of rocks. It's made to absorb impacts. So don't worry about that. But at the same time, you're able to see the fish, see the life below water. At the same time, you're scanning the horizon and looking at nature. It gives you really a 360-degree view of nature as you kayak through it. It's an interesting approach, and the science was actually developed right here at the University of Southwestern Charlotte, who came up with the compound that made the special glass available. That is a good one, and it gets a lot of press, so you might want to shoot a Google search on that, and it'll give you more information. Now, number 2 is climbing Mount Charlotte. Now, Mount Charlotte is just off of downtown. It's about 13,000 feet. A lot of people think that they have to be in shape. You got to be a super athlete, some kind of climber to get to the top. But guys, the city of Charlotte has taken a lot of time to make sure that it's accessible for all people. So it doesn't matter what kind of shape you're in. There'll be trams. They've got buses, shuttles to take you to the top. If you're not up to walking or climbing or hanging from a rope from the side of a mountain, not everybody wants to hang from a rope by the side of a mountain, or honestly, I don't want to sleep on the side of a mountain, which I know many people like to go up on Mount Charlotte, and they put their shoes and hands into the sides of the cliff, and then I don't know how they do it. They anchor themselves to the side of Mount Charlotte, the steep parts, and they put out a little sleeping bag and they sleep up there. I think you would have to be out of your cotton picking mind to sleep on the side of a mountain, dangling 10,000 feet to the rocks below. But everybody gets their jollies a certain way, and that's certainly available at Mount Charlotte, just off of downtown. You can see it clearly from the downtown business district. It's getting a lot of good views. You get a lot of great views from the buildings. Perhaps you're in a business that has the entire floor, and you were able to negotiate a better office just because it has that view of Mount Charlotte. You can see people skiing. You can see the knuckleheads sleeping on the side of the mountain at 10,000 feet. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but that's a good one. And then, and that's honestly, car trouble. I thought for a minute she had taken her golf clubs out of the car. It was the jack and the tire, but from a distance it looked like golf clubs. But I didn't coordinate this. But no, that is our next. The golf has to do with our next item on things you can only do in Charlotte. So next on the list is the Pie Pan Golf that is only available in Charlotte. Now, Charlotte wanted to increase their golf revenues, so they said, how can we make the game easier? So what they decided to do was drill golf holes that are the size of pie pans. And then they put a pie pan at the bottom of the hole. So, in other words, it looks like a regular golf hole. The depth is the same, but the circumference, the size of the actual circle, is the size of a pie pan. So what does that do? Well, it's obvious. It makes it much easier to get it in the hole. So I am totally for this. I don't know why golf doesn't adopt this as a USGA and a Royal and Ancient Golf Association of England, whatever they call that both countries and golf leagues, golf associations can adopt this as a new way to play the game. Whoever came up with the current golf hole the way it is was out of their minds. It's almost impossible to get the ball in the hole in the regulation that they want. Okay? And you say, well, then it'll make it easier for pros. It's already easy for them. These guys are shooting like 51 for 18 holes. Who cares if it's a pie pan? You know, maybe they'll make more artistic shots that kind of swoop and swope over the green and give us that exciting kind of race car action on the green, right? Or maybe they'll blast it out of the water standing there in their bare feet. They take their shoes and socks off, they stand in the water, they blast it out. The pie pan hole will give them a much better chance. It'll encourage them to get in the water. Maybe they'll stand in there up to their waist. Maybe they'll take their pants off, right? Just stand there in their underwear. Now that would be pretty funny. So it opens up a whole new way to enjoy the game, and that is pie pan golf. It's really only available in Charlotte. I've never seen it anywhere else in the world. But if you always wanted to try golf but were intimidated by that dumb hole that somebody came up with back in Scotland in 1500 or whatever the heck, then this is a new and exciting way to play the game, and you'll enjoy it. Now, number 4 on our list of things you can only do in Charlotte. I've never seen these items anywhere else in the world, and that is the Dangerous Animal Petting Zoo. Now, there are petting zoos for docile animals where they just sit there and you can go at them and pat them on the head. But how much more fun would it be if you could go to a dangerous animal petting zoo? You can do that right here in Charlotte. So you're talking about saber-toothed tigers. You're talking about grizzly bears. You're talking about poisonous snakes that are about 17 to 40 feet long. They can wrap you up and squeeze you to death. But while they're squeezing, you can pet them. They allow you to. It's just the way it is. Now, for that, because it's expensive to run the place, the tickets are a little steep, guys. I'll tell you that. It's like $75. But if you survive, you're allowed to come back for that same amount. The next time you come back is half price. If you don't survive, then you don't have to worry about it. But the thing is, it adds a lot more excitement to a date. If you're going on a date, tell her or him, whatever. If you're the girl or the guy, whatever, take them to the Dangerous Animal Petting Zoo and tell them it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, they will have to sign a waiver. Make sure they sign the waiver in case they don't make it back. Then you don't have to explain anything to their family. You just send them a copy of the waiver, and that's that. But man, talk about conversation starter. Talk about an Instagram-worthy date, guys. Think about that. All you social media animals out there, well, here you go. Dangerous animal, social media animal. A lot of people think it's the same thing. All right, that's number 4 on our list. We're jumping through them. We're snapping through them because everybody wants to know. They're calling me. They're emailing me. So finally, number 5 on the list is, it's called Monk for a Day. So if you've ever wondered what it's like to be a monk, okay, where and if you're not familiar with the term, a monk wears a robe, traditionally a brown robe, and they live in a monastery, and they live a cloistered life, it's called, which basically means you have no fun at all. You don't have a computer, you don't have a cell phone, you don't have a Game Boy, you don't have a Sega Genesis, you don't have a PlayStation, you don't have golf clubs, you don't have rock and roll music. Rock and roll. Okay, you got nothing. You got your rosary and your robe, and maybe some sandals if you're lucky. But the beauty of this for outsiders that want to try it for the day is it takes you back, it centers you, it quiets your mind, and so now you can attack the world, approach the world with a fresh, rejuvenated outlook. You're not all frazzled, you're not all harried and hurried and upset at the world constantly. It gives you, it's like a reset. It's like hitting the reset button. You know, when you reset, when you reboot your computer, reboot your phone, it's a reboot. Your brain, mind, heart, and soul all need a reboot now and then so that the operating system can get you back to center, recenter you. So guys, Monk for a Day, that is number 5 on our list of things you can only do in Charlotte, and I'm only going by the information that was given to me. If you know better about these or can give us more insight or just a mini review, hey, shoot us a text or an email on the YouTuber. Contact me, what do they call that? DM me on the Twitter machine, or however you want to get a hold of me on the gram. And we'll add that information in the description of this video. All right, hope that helps. Have fun in Charlotte, North Carolina, or whatever Carolina it's in. I forget. East Carolina? Is there an East Carolina? What about West Carolina? West Carolina.